Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Ocean's 12, starring George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Andy Garcia, Don Cheadle, Julia Roberts, and Bertie Mac, and directed by Steven Soderbergh. Now, I remember seeing this in theaters, and I also remember this about theaters. I didn't understand a damn thing that was happening, excuse my French. So let's just get right into this. We open the movie with Rusty Ryan, returned by Brad Pitt, coming home to a very sleepy Isabelle Lahiri, played by Catherine Zeta-Jones, who I fell in love with originally in Entrapment and liked her in other movies, including her Oscar-winning role in Chicago. But here, her character was lazily written to be a cop to arrest the group of Ocean's 11. It's very lazy writing, in my opinion. Danny Ocean, returned by George Clooney, is about to have a second third anniversary with his wife, Tess, returned by Julia Roberts, until Terry Benedict, returned by Andy Garcia, demands his money back from the casino from the Ocean's 11 stole at the end of the last movie. But my question is, this is the plot. Is it just me, or is it kind of hard to follow? Terry demanding his money back from the Ocean's 11, like, that's the plot? Really? And when we get back to Don Cheadle's character, Basher Tar, and when they're saying the F word like 10 times, the phone rings every single time, and it really bugged the crap out of me. So the Ocean's 11 have to pay back Benedict all the money they stole from last week's movie, plus interest, and Saul calls himself out of the job, and Danny, Rusty, as well as Basher and Virgil and Turk Malloy, returned by Casey Affleck and Scott Conn, Yen, returned by Shobu Keen, forgive me if I said that wrong, Frank Cotton, returned by Bernie Mac, Linus, returned by Matt Damon, Livingston Dell, returned by Eddie Jemison, Ruben Tishkoff, returned by Elliot Gould, and Saul, returned by Carl Reiner. I said earlier is out of the job to go to Amsterdam to find a way to get Terry's money back, and we first meet Matsui, played by Robbie Coltrane, who I know as Hagrid from Harry Potter. And I'll get later, then that's the series I'll get to later this year, and Linus accidentally calls his 7-year-old niece a cheap whore, excuse my French, was rather awkward and badly staged and acted. Am I dreaming, or is Soderbergh shaking the camera at some points in the movie, and I almost wanted to vomit in the toilet, and again, I'm not following this plot very well. The Ocean's 11 is dealing with a new villain called Night Fox, who is much sneakier and better than the Ocean's 11 crew at stealing money, which is such an insult to, and this movie is insulting to the first Ocean's 11 in 2001. Frank gets arrested by Isabel, and other than being a cop and having a missing father, I don't know who she is and why she's in this movie, and also her dating Rusty at one point. I just don't care. We get introduced to the Night Fox, aka Francois Toylor, forgive me if I said that wrong, played by Vincent Cassel. And I like the character for how sneaky he is. Danny meets up with him and they talk about his plan and the Ocean's 11's future of failure in prison. But my problem is, when he talks about the plan, he'll trick them, and he doesn't seem to be a good tricker. And I don't buy something he does, which I'll get to at the end of the movie. Or let me just get to it now. Where he is, like, going through the razor wire and all that. Just, yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the physicality or any of that crap. Some of the team of Ocean's 11 gets arrested, except for Linus, Basher, and Turk, and they get Tess over to Rome to pretend to be the actress Julia Roberts, who's supposed to be pregnant by the time this movie happens. And my problem is, she is freaking Julia Roberts. Playing the actress Julia Roberts makes no damn sense. And Bruce Willis playing Bruce Willis. And I thought he was playing a friend of Tess, but in theaters back in the day, but that's not true. Tess is Julia Roberts, and Bruce Willis is, well, Bruce Willis. And the fake acting of Tess as Julia Roberts, I personally didn't buy it at all. And eventually, Isabel puts Tess and the rest of them behind bars. That felt like lazy writing. Linus's mother breaks the Ocean's 11 out of prison, and the camera shots that go on each person again and again was obnoxiously annoying. Like the cinematography, the music needed to stop doing the same damn shots, but on different people. So Toylor beats the Ocean's 11 in stealing the gold egg, and Danny tells him to get their debt with Terry back. They tell an older man to save their debt, and as Toylor finds out, Danny had the money the entire time, and that was lazily written. So they pay back what they stole from the previous movie, and they have a get-together party with the Ocean's 11, plus Tess and Isabel. And Isabel is reunited with her father, and I don't give a crap. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 3.9 out of 10. The plot is super hard to understand, and the camera shots are annoying, and the music is bad. This is a pretty bad sequel to a remake of the 1960s Ocean's 11 movie. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and next week I will be back with Ocean's 13. And until next time, I only lied about being a thief.